This is Dan Meehan for Fight News Australia, and today we have the Situ-Asian Martin Nguyen, who takes on Ilya Freymanov at 1 on Prime 2 on October 1st Australian time. Martin, how are you?
Very well, man. Very well. Definitely going to be a good fight coming up. October 1st, too. That's going to be like in the morning fight, so it's different. So, be excited for that one. Let's go.
It is a different one, actually. How does your preparation sort of differ when you sort of have to get up and fight in the morning?
Um, I kind of get up early in the morning anyway and get my first training session out relatively early, about 9 o'clock. That's probably when the fight time is going to happen anyway. So, I try to get the biggest session out early in the morning and get that heart racing. So, when it comes to the fight, it's not out of the norm.
Yeah, there you go. I guess you're a dad anyway, so there's no such thing as a sleep in, even if you wanted one, right?
Right, 7:30 every day.
Absolutely. Now, the last time we caught up was almost exactly a year ago. So, yeah, how's life been since then?
Been well, man. Being able to just take some time off and reflect and uh, had that last fight against Kirill Gorobets, and that went well as well. Did the fight camp at home. Just focus on just different skills and finding different systems that work towards my skill set. And I was able to get my brown belt in jiu-jitsu. So it was just been building and building, man. And brick by brick, we'll get a step closer to that title shot. So.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Before we get to that, last time we caught up, you were getting ready to face Kim Jae-woong. Now that one obviously didn't go your way, but like you mentioned, you sort of managed to bounce back against Kirill Gorobets back in March. So, how do you reflect on your last couple of performances?
That's just that Kim Jae-woong one was just like, it is what it is. The guy got the better of me. I think he was just somewhat irrelevant until I made him relevant. Nine times out of 10, I beat him in that fight, but he beat me. He beat me fair and square, and it is what it is. We move forward. Moving on to the Kirill Gorobets fight, I just had to be patient. I had to be me, not rush and not force something that's not there. So I just fought and took him to deep waters, and yeah, just played my game, and yeah, the results came through.
Absolutely, and this time around you're taking on another one debutant in Ilya Freymanov. Now, he's fought mostly at home in Russia, just looking down his record, so he's a bit of an unknown quantity from, as far as I can tell in my research anyway. So, how much do you know about him?
Obviously, don't know much about it. I know just as much as you do, just the videos that we see and whatever. But I mean, he's got a relatively good record, 10 and 1, 10 and 2, whatever it says on Tapology or Sherdog. But you can't have 10 flukes, so he's relatively good for what he's done, and he's stepping up. Obviously, out of the hometown area, he's coming into Asia, and yeah, it's just he's got another tough opponent in front of him.
Absolutely, and yeah, I mean, how do you feel about the stylistic matchup? Is there sort of an assessment that you can draw from what you've seen?
I feel like he's tall, he's lanky, he's got good kickboxing. He trains with my very good friend of mine, Rafael Fiziev. So they work together, and Rafael's kickboxing is legit. Obviously, as you've seen, he knocked out Rafael dos Santos. So he's no slouch when it comes to the kickboxing department. Obviously, we know his weakness is on the ground, but a lot of people can work on their weaknesses throughout the fight camp, and try to prevent being on the ground or whatever. So you never know, man. Wherever the fight goes, I'm happy to go. I'm happy. So yeah.
Absolutely, and yeah, it looks like you mentioned, your fight camp might have taken place back home again. So you didn't plan on heading to Sanford this time around.
I was. My opponent wasn't really offered until roughly about three-ish weeks ago. Um, I was told that I was fighting October 1st. They were just looking for an opponent, and so it didn't give me enough time to go over to Sanford and climatize and get into fight camp, and not like I had always that worry of behind my head, like, am I still gonna fight? Are they gonna still find somebody? And then when I made the decision to stay at home to do camp, in the meantime, they came through with Ilya. So yeah, the fight camp is has to be here, no ifs or buts.
So yeah, is that how it works with one championship? There, you sort of do they kind of give you a date and then kind of just tie off the opponent later on? It seems to be sort of fairly common that these fights get announced pretty late in the piece.
Well, usually there's about an 8 week process. So they give you 8 weeks to prepare, but all of the guys that I wanted to fight are either booked up or like the title fight between Tangkai and Tan Lee, and then I wanted a rematch with Kim Jae Woong, but they said he was booked up, and I said give me someone in the top five. I was asked for Nakahara, and they said he was unavailable, and so just people became unavailable, and so they just said they're looking for a debutant, and I said whatever. So I'm just gonna get ready for anyone. I train every day all year round, so I should be ready for anyone. So
Absolutely, and yeah, you touched on the new featherweight champion there in Tangkai, who defeated Tan Lee recently. So, what did you make of his performance?
it was an impressive performance, definitely impressive performance. He fought a smart fight, um, and yeah, it was just similar of the fight that I had with Tan Lee. I was a Tan Lee, and he was a Tang Kai when I fought Tan Lee. So played patient, picked his shots, and got the win. Obviously, he didn't get the knockout, but he pushed the champion all the way to the later rounds and unanimously was decisively won. So good for him.
Absolutely, I'm sure you would have sort of fantasised about how you might match up with him. So, yeah, how do you feel you match up with him stylistically?
Stylistically, it'll be definitely a fun fight. Um, Obviously, he's gonna say he's gonna knock me out because I've been KO'd, lost by a KO before, and he's never lost, and whatever. It is what it is. I feel that experience wise, I have more experience than him, but you never know, man. You never know. It's just basically who turns up on a day and who puts on the performance of their life.
Absolutely, and for you, I think it'd be safe to assume that the goal is to get back to that title shot. So, obviously, you're currently ranked number three. So, assuming, of course, that you're successful on October 1st, how far off do you think a shot might be?
I feel a win over Ilya catapults me into title contention. But even if it's not, I'll fight one or two. Doesn't matter. I'll fight Kim Jae Woong. I'll fight Tan Lee if I have to get that title shot. That doesn't really matter to me. But I feel this next victory should catapult me in line for the title shot.
Right, and yeah, that was one thing I was going to touch on there. Like, I guess the Tan Lee and the Kim Jae Woong fights are ones that you'd like to get back on your way to the title.
Yeah, definitely. They're the two guys that have beaten me as of recent, and they're the two guys ahead of me. Uh, they're both coming off losses, so I'm sure they would want to get their or defend their positions in the ranking and get their chance to have another title shot or get their shot at the title and go from there. Yeah.
Absolutely, and yeah, we talked about this last time as well. But one are making some moves over here with the Road to One events, and now this new sort of Muay Thai announcement. Of the Muay Thai tournaments down here in Australia as well. So, how significant is that for sort of, I guess, one kind of making inroads into Australia, and how far off do you think we might be from getting a fully fledged one championship event down here?
That's one step closer, right? One step closer. Every step closer is a good step, I guess. I've always wanted an event here in one championship in Australia. I've always wanted the headline, whether it'll be an Australian card or a Vietnam card, or even just fight in front of my hometown in Australia. It's always been a dream of mine. Obviously, fighting for an international company back home. So yeah, always have the support here, and everyone do support me. Really want me to fight at home. So it's just a matter of one championship breaking the waters and coming through.
Absolutely, yeah, I think we're all dying for that. But before any of that, we have one on Prime, which is obviously another landmark deal for one championship and another show of intent regarding the US market. So, following on from the TNT events last year. So, what's your gut feel? Do you feel like one championship is catching on in the US?
Well, yeah, it's this deal is huge. Amazon Prime is huge. Even when I was staying in Florida, it was just like the main thing to go to. Over here, it's like Netflix and your Zulu stand and all that. But Amazon Prime over there is like the main thing that they go to, and it's a huge deal for one championship. And I'm honored and proud to be a part of the company for them to sign this as well and be a part of it.
Absolutely. And does that, I don't know, do you feel a bit of extra responsibility, sort of being on a big card like this, sort of breaking into the US market, or is it just kind of business as usual once that
Business
cage
as
door
usual, man.
closes?
Business as usual. As soon as those cage doors close, I gotta do me. I gotta do whatever it takes to get that win.
Absolutely, and we'll get some predictions for the night. Who have you got in the main event? Zhong Jingnan versus Angela Lee.
Um, I don't want to dive too much into it, but I'm gonna go with my girl Zhang Xinan.
Absolutely, and are you a kickboxing guy?
Not really, not as much, but I do follow it a bit.
Right. Can you give us a prediction for the co-main event, Super Bond versus Alazov for the featherweight kickboxing title?
That's a huge fight, man. Alazov's just been on a huge streak, as well as Superbot as well. It's hard to pick, man, but I'm predicting the champ stays the champ.
Absolutely, and of course Martin Nguyen versus Ilya Freymanov. What can the fans expect when they tune in on October 1st?
Fireworks for sure.
Absolutely, we'd expect no less, Martin. So before I let you go, do you have any sponsors or anyone you'd like to shout out? I'll hand the reins over to you.
Just shout out to my wife and my family, obviously, for being here for me, and my team, obviously, the guys that have been helping me out throughout these last weeks and weeks. Skinny Hussein at Body Punch, Kian Pham at Capricorn Academy, the guys from Cyclone Sports Club for always looking after me, and the team back at home, Killcliff Fire Club now, and my main coach, Chrysler. Been there for me since day one and has still been there for me every single day up until date. So without the guys around me, I wouldn't be who I am or perform the way I do. So shout out to those guys.
Awesome. Well, Martin, thank you so much for stopping by once again, and all the best at One on Prime 2.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you, man.